As those of you who've been paying attention will know, this weekend just gone, I was at TwitchCon in Amsterdam. A number of very important things happened there. I bought this Twitch pillow, which will sit in the background of my videos and remind you that I stream on Twitch, like most afternoons, and you should follow me there, twitch.tv/LOLLUJO. I also proved once and for all that I'm taller than Zealand. That made me very happy. I bought this Ajax shirt from the Ajax club shop, and then it took me 46 hours to get home at a cost of £1,200 because I tried to travel home during a heat wave and everything was cancelled. Unrelated to all of that, I now feel like this shirt probably warrants going through as a business expense. Therefore, I'm going to do an Ajax rebuild video. Please like it. £1,200 to get home. Hello, folks, and welcome to an Ajax rebuild. I mean, to be fair, it's a video that needed making this summer anyway. Eric Ten Hag has obviously gone to Manchester United. Key players, Martinez, Gravenberch, Haller have all left the club. And by my reckoning, there's money to spend and a rebuild that needs to be done. And where there are rebuilds that need to be done, you'll find me usually quite close behind chasing YouTube views. And that's exactly what we're doing today. If you are new to the channel off the back of this video, please subscribe, turn your notifications on. I have a large credit card bill to pay because of TwitchCon. And of course, like this video and let me know down in the comments what future rebuilds you would like to see. We've done them with Manchester United, Nottingham Forest, and several more recently. There's a playlist. You can find the playlist. It'll all be fine. So just to bring you up to speed with what I've done, as ever, I am playing on an updated database, which has last season's results and whatnot in it, so we can go back to last season and demonstrate. There are Ajax as champions of the Eredivisie, and we've also put the transfers through that have happened in real life, although they've gone through at the end of last season. So that's Martinez, Haller, Gravenberch, and Kotarski all leaving for a total of £98 million. Those prices just lifted straight from Transfer Market, so there can be no arguments. And then the incoming players of Bergwijn, Bassi, Windal, and Conceição. Also, the players that were released at the end of their contracts have been moved on as well. Some of these, I would imagine, their abilities aren't quite going to be reflected in this version of the database as they will be in FM23 when that comes out. So Calvin Bassi, in particular, for £20 million, is looking like a problematic signing because he's not going to get anywhere near the first team. But this is the squad that we're left with. And more importantly, I guess, these are the finances we're left with after those transfers have gone through. £54 million. We started off with a budget of £22 million with 100% retained transfer revenue. And like I say, I just put these transfers through and that's what we're left with. There's plenty of wage budget left as well. There's plenty of capacity to continue this rebuild, and it definitely needs continuing. Obviously, in addition to key players leaving, it's the spine of the team, Haller, Gravenberch, and Martinez, all gone. There's also a distinct lack of anything like a first-choice goalkeeper. If you look at the back four, you've got Tagliafico and Blind, who, and to be fair, Timber, Alvarez, none of these you would necessarily say their best position is at centre-back. So centre-back is probably something that we need to be strengthening. We need another midfielder in to replace the departing Gravenberch. If you look at what we've actually got in there, Blind is already taken care of down in the defence. Tadic is our only recognised striker, really. Alvarez, equally, is probably going to be needing to be deployed as part of the back four. And we're left with just David Klaassen in midfield as an Ajax quality player. And then in the attack, we're not doing too badly. We could do with an out-and-out Haller replacement striker. Tadic, at 33 years old, I'd be inclined to let him go to Newcastle if they offer us big money for him. We'll see how that develops. But that will then leave a massive striker-shaped hole in the club. There are obviously rumours in real life at the moment about Anthony potentially leaving the club, but nothing has happened at the time of recording this video. Therefore, he is still here, but I am potentially open to offers for him. But with Berghaus, Bergwijn, and Anthony, Tadic, unless players leave, we're probably not too bad in the attack. But definitely need a goalkeeper, some centre-backs, a centre-mid. I mean, it's a tall order for £54 million. We're going to see what we can do. And obviously, we have to do that within Ajax's philosophy of how they do things as well. So in addition to developing young players who are already at the club and playing entertaining, attacking football. They also don't want me bringing in any old men. So we're not going to sign anybody over the age of 28 as per the club vision. And really, we're going to be looking to prioritise players even younger than that. We're looking to bring through the next generation of young, exciting players here at Ajax. And that's why, I mean, I'm not against keeping the likes of Tadic and Blint around. They've got lots of experience. But at the same time, if we get offers for them, we probably move them on. We're focusing on the future. And it's hard to focus on the future when our best attacking player is 33. Doesn't matter how good he is, he's probably not going to be leading the line for the next 3 or 4 years. And that's really the project we're building here at Ajax. We want to put together a team that can have success over the next 3 or 4 years, then sell them all on to Barcelona and Manchester United and whoever else and start again. It's the Ajax circle of life. If we manage to sneak out a good performance in the Champions League along the way, then so be it. And obviously, it's very important that we do win our domestic league this season as well, and then just have as good a run in the Champions League as we can have. So I am going to go and have a route through shortlists and scouted player lists and whatever else I can find. We're bargain hunting. We probably need to bring in 4 or 5 players good enough to improve this team in the region of 10 to 15 million pounds each without paying them much in the way of salary either. Fine. First signing in, and it's such an easy starting point in Football Manager. Dominic Livakovic. It was the key area of the squad that we needed to strengthen. We needed a goalkeeper. We've got the best value, come straight in and be a Champions League level goalkeeper in FM. Livakovic is in for a little more than I've paid for him in previous versions of the game. I guess we are a year in the future. £12 million. And we have our goalkeeper. That is the most pressing issue dealt with. We also tried to sign Manuel Akanji, who was on the transfer list at Borussia Dortmund, but in the end, he went to Real Madrid instead. So he would have been an absolute bargain, bearing in mind we still very much need centre-backs. But Livakovic is in, and that's job one for the summer done. We have our goalkeeper. We also now have our Ryan Gravenberch replacement, Wendell from Zenit, £9.25 million previously of Sporting as well. I think that's a little bit of a bargain. He can fit straight in and play all of the roles that Gravenberch was able to play previously, primarily a central midfielder, but can play as your holding midfielder, as your attacking midfielder. Very comfortable on the ball. Exactly the kind of player we needed. Fills that squad gap from Gravenberch and means we don't have to rely on the likes of Tadic and Blint in central midfield when they're going to be used in other areas. Couple of early bargains. We have got a couple of other deals bubbling along, which are going to see us spending most of our money, and we are going to have to start some wheeler dealing. But for now, we're still basically spending the Martinez money. And if we can get all of our if we can replace the main players who left just with the Martinez money, that'd be perfect. Because then we can just have fun with Wonder Kids, everyone's favourite pastime. And now we're in topsy-turvy, upside-down world, because rather than a promising young player leaving Ajax and going to Barcelona, it's happened the other way around. Ronald Araujo is our new centre-back, our direct Martinez replacement, £18.75 million. It's a big transfer, considering the circumstances that we're in, but I think he is exactly what we need. He's my kind of centre-back, 6'3" and nearly 14.5 stone. He's a big boy. I love a big boy at the back. Araujo at 23, bags of potential, better than any defender we've got at the club at the moment, comes straight into our first team, and that is, I mean, look at that, straight in there, starting centre-back, frees up Tagliafico to play left-back, or Blint to play left-back, Timber can go play right back. We could still probably use one more out-and-out centre-back, but for now, just trying to do like-for-like replacements with what's left, I'm pretty happy. We now just need a striker, and I know just the man. Oh, look at his jawline. Oh, those of you who've watched the Streamer Showdown over on Twitch, and you should have done, it's great. Well, no, I love Pedro. I drafted him a year ago, not having a clue who he was, based purely on the fact he is the most handsome man in Football Manager with an incredible jawline, and he was superb. So we've got him in again. We've brought him in at Ajax. I've drafted him a few times into the showdown. He never lets me down. Bargain price striker, £13.5 million for a Brazilian international striker who's still only 25 years old and can just slot straight in to our team at centre forward. And we are starting to put a little bit of a squad together now. What we're also doing is starting to go way over our wage budget. So we probably need to just bump a little bit of transfer budget across into there. Still £23 million to spend. I've got no more deals bubbling, but I think that's a fantastic start. We've got a new core of the team, a new goalkeeper, centre-back, centre-mid, and striker. And if we have a look at our squad depth now, if you've got Pedro as your striker, Tadic playing in behind, you can then have Berghaus or Bergwijn on the left. You got Anthony over on the right, or Conceição can play over there as well. In central midfield, you've got Wendell and Klaassen. Centre-back, Araujo, and then probably Blind, Tagliafico at left-back, Timber at right-back, Livakovic in goal. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a football team that is good enough to play in the Champions League. Our job now is to just start plugging gaps and maybe start to shift some of these players on. What I've not done is had a look to see what Deadwood we've got in the squad. He's already looking like quite a big, bloated first-team squad, and I'm looking down at the likes of Sean Kleiber, thinking, you know what, Sean, you probably ain't got it. Let's move you on. Lissandro Magallan. I don't see you playing, Lissandro. Let's move you on. So there's a few of these fringe players we can probably look to get rid of and clear some squad space, clear some salaries, and start bringing in that next generation of young superstar, whilst simultaneously keeping an eye on any of these potential offers that might come in for some of our existing players. And basically, we're Ajax. Everyone is for sale at the right price, because that's kind of what Ajax do. So if we get the right offer for any player, we move them on and go and find the next young superstar for less money. It's the Ajax way. Little bit more bargain hunting, because we only had two really out-and-out central midfielders. We've got one more. We probably need another one on top of this. Toma Basic, I don't know. Just comes in to really make up the numbers in midfield. Not expecting him to start, but just give us a little bit of cut price squad depth in there, because if we actually drill down to who our central midfielders are, Tadic is likely to be in the attack, Blind in the defence. Then you've got Klaassen, Wendell, defender, Basic who's just come in, and then various other sort of fringe players, wingers, defenders. There's not much depth, is what I'm getting at in central midfield. I think we can probably do with one more. I am working on one more right now. I was hoping he was going to appear there when I press continue and make me look like I'm really fancy and knew what I was doing. It's not happening. You can see I am selling off some fringe players, though, while all this is going on. So fingers crossed we'll have a few more fringies go, and then we can announce our next headline signing. And there he is, Xaver Schlager, who comes in from Wolfsburg. A little bit more defence-minded than some of the central midfielders we've got in there at the moment. Add a little bit of oomph, a little bit of meat, a little bit of strength to our central. Meat, he's 5'9", but he kicks hard, and that's all we really need. We need someone in there to kick hard, and that's what we're going to get with Schlager, and that is our midfield complete. I think what I would like to do now, if money allows, and we are starting to get pretty close to using up this budget, I'd like another striker. Obviously, we've got Pedro in, but with Tadic at 33, I'd probably like... I mean, Pedro's 25, Tadic 33. I'd like a 19, 20-year-old wonder kid striker that then allows me to be a little bit more comfortable about letting Tadic go. Obviously, if Tadic does go, we'd probably have to bring in an attacking midfielder as well, because we don't really have anyone to step into that void if Tadic moves on. But we can worry about that when it happens. That is a lot of matches picked for TV. Goodness me. Seeing we didn't really have any backup at attacking midfield spooked me. So we've gone bargain hunting again and got ourselves a backup attacking midfielder, Antonin Barak. Only cost us £7.5 million. Just come straight in with that kind of value. Tiny salary as well. This feels like a very Ajax signing. And at 6'3", he's not going to be too shabby at set pieces either. And that just, it fills another gap. I am very aware that we are running out of money very, very quickly, and I still have hopes of bringing in a striker. I really wouldn't be that upset at this point If we got a big offer for Anthony or Tadic, they're probably the two I'd be least upset about letting go. Timber, I can either take or leave if he decides to go. We've got Wrench, you can just slot straight in at right back. Don't really plan to use Timber at centre back. Likewise with Alvarez, if we get an offer, then I'm probably happy to let him go. He's not likely to start for me at centre back. We're not going to play with a DM. So I think we could probably let Alvarez go as well. But we're not going to offer any of these players out. We've got a month to go until deadline day. We'll just wait and see if offers come in and then act accordingly. But at the back of my mind, it's very much would like another striker if the opportunity presents itself. I need to stop talking you through my thoughts on the squad, because every time I do, I talk myself into signing someone we might not have needed. But having seen that we didn't have much in the way of backup right backs behind Timber, we might end up using at right back, at centre back, or selling. I've gone out bargain hunting again. Manon Bush. Definitely my style of right wing back, very attacking right wing back. Only £700,000, and he's as good as Timber. Better than Alvarez or Wrench in that position. Just seemed like a real no-brainer to me. So Manon Bush is in. And, I mean, we've sold a few of the fringe players. I mentioned before a few of them would be leaving, so a few have moved on. We've got a little bit of money left. It doesn't feel like striker money. We need a big sale, really. I'm now looking at Timber, Anthony, or Tadic as potential big sales in the next month or so. But importantly, Pedro scored on his debut and we won the Super Cup. What a time to be alive. That was the 11 that we used to win it. And that looks like a very good team as far as I'm concerned. A little bit concerned what happens behind Pedro. If he gets injured or if he's unavailable, we're probably going to have to put Tadic up front or kind of do some kind of weird strikerless thing with all these many wingers we've got. Obviously, we've got Conceição, we've got Berghaus. Bergwijn is knocking around as well. We've got lots of players who can play in these areas. We need one more out-and-out striker. I just haven't left myself with very much money at all to be able to do it. Well, heading into transfer deadline day, there are rumours involving our players. Rumoured offers for Klaassen, Alvarez, Timber. They're all very low offers. I mean, I'm not selling these players for less than £20 million. So I suspect not much going on. We have been linked with Evan Nielsen of Porto, which, I mean, he's valued at £32 million. We have about £1 million. So unless he wants to come in on loan, I don't think we're getting him. We'll take part in deadline day, but I can't imagine very much is going to happen. We've had a reasonable start to the season. We're second in the league. PSV have had a 100% start. We slipped up against Vitesse. We've also had a horrific Champions League draw. Liverpool, Leipzig and Monaco in our group. Well, I mean, we'll see how we get on, shall we? Right, we're just waiting to see if any deadline day magic happens. I mean, that's deadline day magic. Oh, it's Newcastle as well. We could squeeze more money out of them here. Who do we go and buy as the striker? If we sell him, who on earth are we buying? We can't afford Isak. Evan Nielsen is sensible, I guess. Andre Silva at Leipzig. I mean, he seems to make the most sense. But we need 32 million to pay for him. So I guess we say to Newcastle, give us 32 million. And let's see what they say. So 32 million, suggest terms. Oh, deadline day is horrible. I can't even read that. It says down there that's a value of 23.5 million. He wants to speak to Newcastle as well. I think we're going to take it. And then we're going to go straight in for Evan Nielsen on the never to an extent. Let's just go find him again this way. So, yeah, up to £32 million. So if we offer like 10 up front and then the other 22 on installments, that feels like that's a deal they might go for. We're not going to let them sign a replacement. That might have been a bad idea, excluding that from negotiation. Oh, yeah. It was a terrible idea. Can we add it back in? We ain't getting him, are we? I've messed that up massively. Could we get Isak on loan somehow? No. Andre Silva. Nobody ever tell him he was third choice. He's not even, I don't even want him. Tell you who we could take. Luka Jovic on loan for the year. Seems like good business to me. I think that works. We can get Tadic out the door, Jovic in on loan for the year with a future fee, quite a low future fee set up. If he comes in and he's great, then we sign him for £11 million next summer. If he comes in and he's rubbish, doesn't matter. There you go, Jovic is in. And Tadic is going as well. It's all happening very quickly early on deadline day here. So Tadic is gone, which means I could probably use another attacking midfielder now. But that's Tadic gone. Blint is now unhappy that Tadic is gone. So let's give him a little bit of a tickle. My assistant manager has gone straight in and made an offer for Ismail Assar, who we really don't need. We've got so many wingers. We've just given Anthony a new contract. I think we're going to withdraw that offer. See what the rest of the day brings us. And there's our Tadic replacement. Pedro Gonçalves is in. It's a big fee, but it is a big signing. £35 million. We spent all of the Tadic money and then a little bit extra. But we've got, for me, a direct replacement and a better player. He's already got 3 goals in 5 appearances for Sporting this season. He's our highest earning player. He's the most expensive player at the club. He is our new prized asset. We've just traded in a 33-year-old for a 24-year-old absolute superstar and snuck Luka Jovic through the door as well. Financially, we need to just shuffle some budgets around a little bit. We're probably done now. In fact, we are ever so slightly overspending, but I'm happy. I don't need to do any more. If any more business happens from here, I'll be very surprised. My assistant manager, I made it off of Tiemu Bakayoko as well, which we withdrew. We don't need any more central midfielders. But Gonçalves, I am over the moon at being able to bring that guy in. If you watch the network game, you'll know I love him. He's fantastic for my Everton team. I signed him in my recent Manchester United video as well. I just really like Pedro Gonçalves and really, really happy to have him as part of this team. I think he is a difference maker of a player. So there is your summary of our transfer window. 182 million spent, 124 million received. Obviously, that does include the real life transfers as well. So the headlines, Gonçalves, Schläger and Araujo coming in, Martinez, Tadic and Haller heading out. Obviously, doesn't tell the whole story. There's far more deals than that have gone on. But goodness me, I think that's a good transfer window for this football club. What we're going to do now is holiday forward to January, see if we get through our Champions League group and see how this team gets on playing together. Well, we have made it through to January, and as you can see, things are going quite well. We're top of the Eredivisie. Surprised to see PSV all the way down in 5th place. Luka Jovic is our top scorer, so I would like to think we'll be finding a way to make his signing permanent once we get to the end of the season. 6 goals from 8 starts in the league, 3 from 5 in the Champions League. Just looking through the rest of the key players in the squad. Pedro's weighed in with 7 goals from 7 starts, but is unhappy that he's not playing enough games. So if he wants to leave, I'm not against him leaving. I've also got 12 goal contributions from Anthony, 11 from Gonçalves if we go by average rating. Araujo's been fantastic. Gonçalves, Windal has played 8 games and played really well. I mean, it's just, things are looking pretty good. Talking of the Champions League, by the way, didn't expect us to win a group that had Liverpool, Leipzig and Monaco in, did you? We scored 20 goals as well. We beat Leipzig 6-0. I mean, it's bonkers, really, some of these Champions League results. So let's just have a look. We beat 6-0 over Leipzig. We lost 6-2 against Liverpool. 3-0 victory over Monaco. Then beat Monaco 3-2. Beat Liverpool 4-1. and then drew 2-2 with Leipzig. What a weird group that has ended up being. But ultimately, we're doing brilliantly. We've got Bayer Leverkusen in the first knockout round of the Champions League. We could do with selling a few players, but we have got some unhappy players. Davy Klaassen was asking to leave because he wasn't getting in the team, so he's gone on the transfer list and been offered out. Basic will be offered out as well. And we're willing to take offers for Alvarez or Pedro, as neither of them are playing very often. And we kind of want to get our team cohesion, club atmosphere stuff up. If we have a look at how the club vision is going so far, pretty well. It is going pretty well. So we're going to do January, do some final tweaks to the squad, and then see just how deep in this Champions League we can go. Well, we've had a productive January when it comes to just clearing out the players that didn't want to be here. Edson Alvarez has gone to Lyon for £10 million. Davy Klaassen's gone to Leicester, £3.6 million. Toma Basic, £4.8 million to Fiorentina. Made a nice little profit on him in 6 months. We've signed Ivor Fossum just as an extra body in midfield because it's effectively 3 midfield players who've moved on. Just a cheap extra player to have in there. And the bulk of the money we've brought in has gone towards making the Luka Jovic deal permanently. He has come in and been an absolute superstar for us. So we've coughed up the money. He joins us permanently in the summer. His salary is going to be about £160,000 a week. It is big money, which is why we've had to put so much of the incoming transfer money into wage budget, and we've not been able to splurge on lots more players. But I think we leave that transfer window stronger than we went into it, mainly because Jovic is now here permanently. The only unhappy player at the club is now Pedro, who's just going to have to get used to the idea that he's Jovic's backup for the rest of time. And now we just need to holiday through to the end of the season to see how this team gets on in the Champions League. We should have the Eredivisie wrapped up relatively easily. The question now is just how deep can we go in the Champions League, having topped our group? Well, as expected, we won the league. Not as dominantly as you might have expected. We only won it by 1 point. But Luka Jovic did finish as top scorer with 26 goals from 26 starts. That is bargain of the century as far as this save goes. Wonderful stuff from Jovic. Araujo, top average rating in the league as well on 7.85. Got to be a close second for bargain of the save. 2 players for less than 30 million combined. That is how you do a rebuild, boys and girls. As far as the Champions League went, we did get knocked out in the quarterfinal by Liverpool. We won the Dutch Cup and the Johan Cruyff Schaal, which I guess is the equivalent of the Community Shield. But yeah, Liverpool in the quarterfinal, not ideal, especially because we'd beaten Liverpool 4-1 the last time we played them in the group game. Ignore the fact they beat us 6-0 earlier on. We got Bayer Leverkusen in the first knockout round, 3-2 win away from home with a hat-trick from Steven Berghaus, and 7-minute hat-trick. Absolute madness from Berghaus in that game. And then in the second leg, 3-3 draw at home. So narrowly scraping it past Leverkusen. It's a 99th minute and 109th minute goals saw us make our way through. And then against Liverpool in the quarterfinal, would have been feeling pretty confident after only losing 1-0 at Anfield. But unfortunately, a 1-1 draw at home. And even that with a Pedro Gonçalves penalty in the 91st minute. In fact, it's not a penalty, it's just a goal. But either way, it's narrow, but we did get knocked out by Liverpool in the quarterfinal, who then went on to get all the way through to the final against Real Madrid, where they haven't played yet, but knocked out by eventual finalists, winning everything else, and with money still in the bank at the end of it. I think you have to call that a successful rebuild. Jovic is insane. 38 goals from 36 appearances. Average rating-wise, we signed a lot of very, very good players. The future is very bright for this Ajax team. Can I now put this shirt down as a business expense? It cost me €90 from the Ajax club shop. If you have enjoyed that video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Again, don't forget to let me know down in the comments who you'd like to see me rebuild in the future. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.